Salut mon pote, j'espère que ça va bien. Dans cette vidéo, on va regarder les règles de l'imparfait de l'indicatif, which is the normal imparfait, ok? Technically speaking, l'imparfait is A2 level, if you care, okay? It's not A1, it's A2, okay? But it's a really important tense to know because we use it really often in French. Par exemple, la phrase, like the very basic sentence, j'étais malade, I was sick, ok, j'étais malade, c'est déjà de l'imparfait, ok, it's already imparfait. So we are going to review the rules and everything for beginners, which means that I'm not going to go into full detail about every rules and every specificity of l'imparfait, because in my opinion, it would be counterproductive, but we will review everything that's useful for a beginner level, all right? So first of all, three things you should know about using l'imparfait. Premièrement, c'est un temps du passé, well, obviously, right? So it's a tense of the past, okay? We use it to talk about past stuff. It's not the future, it's not the present, it's the past. Second of all, we usually use it for written things, okay? Or in French, we say c'est un temps de l'écrit. It's like a written tense. We don't often speak with l'imparfait. Okay, when we speak, we usually use le passé composé, but to write, we use l'imparfait, sorry. And this is very, very often what's used in novels, in books, in French, okay? And finally, this is a tense that we use to like describe something at the past, like to describe how something is happening. On the contrary of le passé composé, which is more used to say that something happened, you know, like le passé composé, j'ai mangé, like I have eaten, you know, that's a fact, that's an action that happened. But à l'imparfait, je mangeais is more like I was eating and then something happened, you know. Okay. So, but we will go like in deeper detail about this, obviously. Few examples. Quand j'étais petit, j'aimais les gâteaux. Quand j'étais petit, so it's like when I was young, when I was little, j'aimais les gâteaux. I loved cakes, I love biscuits. Okay, I used to love biscuits. Elle marchait tous les jours. She used to walk every day, okay? So the used to doesn't appear with word in the sentence, but when you use l'imparfait for a sentence like this, elle marchait tous les jours, it implies something like she used to walk every day. Nous allions à la mer chaque été. It's the same, you know, like tous les jours, every day. Chaque été, every summer. There's an idea of repetition, ok? Donc nous allions à la mer. We used to go to the beach, to the sea, every summer. All right? Donc, quand utiliser l'imparfait? When to use l'imparfait? Ok, so 4 cases. Premièrement, pour décrire une situation ou une personne. So to describe a situation or a person, ok? Par exemple, quand j'étais jeune, j'étais très grand. So when I was young, I was very tall. Actually, you can even translate this one literally word by word. When I was young, I was very tall. Ok? Deuxièmement, pour décrire une action habituelle ou qui se répète. Ok? So to describe an action that repeats itself, like to describe something you used to do. I mean, something you are used to do maybe every day, every week, every month, something like this. Par exemple, elle marchait tous les jours. Donc tous les jours, every day, there's really this idea of repetition. Elle marchait, it's like she used to walk every day. She was walking every day. 3. Pour parler d'actions qui se passent en même temps. Okay? So to talk about actions that happens at the same time. And and I'm sorry for the bit cringy picture that I put here, but you know, sometimes it's not so easy to find pictures that are accurately matching the sentences that you're trying to use as examples. So I think there will be a few cringy pictures in my slides. I'm sorry about this. pendant que je mangeais, elle me regardait. Donc, pendant que je mangeais, while I was eating, she was looking at me. Okay? Elle me regardait. She was looking at me. So there is this idea of two things happening at the same time. I'm eating and she's looking. Okay, that's it for the main cases. All right? Now let's look at like the most important, right? La règle de conjugaison. So the rules of how to conjugate the verbs that we know to l'imparfait. Okay? First of all, pour les verbes du premier groupe. Les verbes du premier groupe. I made a video about the 3 groups of verb. So if this is not obvious to you what's a verb of the first group, second group, and third group, then you can go watch this video because I won't go back in detail in this one. Donc je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Okay. These are les terminaisons. Okay. This is how you will conjugate the verbs of the first group. And you will see that l'imparfait is quite easy because it will be the same basically for every other group as well. Par exemple, pendant que je marchais, elle me regardait. Donc, on a le verbe marcher, the verb marcher, le verbe regarder, ok? And so you can see, pour je marchais, A-I-S, elle regardait, A-I-T, ok? If you need to take a minute to incorporate in your brain le verbe marcher, regarder, je, il, elle, A-I-S, A-I-T, and the sentence, you can pause the video, like no issue, and you just like you use any kind of process in your brain necessary for you to understand the conjugation. Tu, par exemple, tu aimais bien les fraises. Oh, sorry. So this one, pendant que je marchais, so like while I was walking, elle me regardait. She was looking at me. Okay? Tu aimais bien les fraises. So you used to like strawberries, okay? You liked strawberries. And this sentence just like this doesn't have much meaning, but it does have a meaning if you put it back in the context of a book. For example, you're telling a story and it's like, oh, during this time, 10 years ago, you liked strawberries, you know, tu aimais bien les fraises, okay? Donc le verbe aimer, to like or to love, tu aimais, A-I-S, okay, just like here. Nous, nous mangions de la pastèque tous les étés. Donc le verbe manger, ok. Nous mangions, I-O-N-S, ok, just like here. Nous mangions de la pastèque. We were eating watermelon tous les étés, every summer, ok. Vous laviez le chien tous les week-ends. Donc le verbe laver, ok. I-E-Z. Vous laviez le chien tous les week-ends. You used to wash the dog every weekend. Ok. Ils arrivaient toujours en retard. Ils arrivaient toujours en retard. Donc le verbe arriver, A-I-E-N-T. Okay? Ils arrivaient. You can hear the link between ils et arriver. Ils arrivaient, right? Ils arrivaient. And because we pronounce la liaison, okay, with the S, ils arrivaient, we know orally that il is at the plural form, right? If it was il like this, we would say il arrivait. And now, ils arrivaient. Elles arrivaient. Okay? Toujours en retard. So they used to arrive always late. They were always late, basically. Ok? C'est bien. Maintenant, pour le deuxième groupe. So for the verbs of the second group, it's so easy. It's exactly the same. Ok? C'est pareil. But you add SS. That's it. Ok? Donc SS-AIS, SS-AIS, SS, AIT, etc. But, AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT, all the same. All right? You just add SS and that's it. It doesn't get more complicated than this. Par exemple, pour le verbe finir, je finissais mes devoirs. Je finissais mes devoirs. Donc SS, AIS. It's like I was finishing my homeworks. Pour le verbe, oh sorry, made a small mistake here. So this one is le verbe nourrir. Okay. Pour le verbe nourrir, so to feed, nous nourrissions le chien du voisin. Donc SS, IONS. This The picture is very strange, I think. Nous nourrissions le chien du voisin. Alright? Et par exemple, grandir, il grandissait à vue d'œil. Il grandissait à vue d'œil. No, grandir start with a consonant, G. Okay? So in this case, we cannot make la liaison avec S. And so actually, when you just say il grandissait à vue d'œil, just orally like this, with no other context, we cannot know if you're talking about one person or a group of people. Okay? But usually in context, obviously you would know who you're talking about, right? Il grandissait à vue d'œil. À vue d'œil is an expression, like literally translated, it would mean at the sight of the eye, you know. Donc, il grandissait à vue d'œil means that they were growing up so fast that you could see them grow with your own eyes in front of you. So it's an exaggeration, obviously. It's an expression. Il grandissait à vue d'œil. Pour le troisième groupe, I will not go into detail because, as you know, there are many specific cases, but just know that it's almost the same for every verb, okay? Almost every verb follow the same pattern of AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. This is why usually when people, like French people, are learning French in France, okay, like we are in school when we're young, usually l'imparfait is the favorite verb of everyone because it's so easy to conjugate because every verb is the same, okay? But in this specific video, I will not review le troisième groupe because I think it's not relevant, it's not productive to go for every special case and everything. But there are two verbs that we can talk about, which are the most important ones, être et avoir, obviously. Donc, I mean, here you go. Here you have them, okay? Donc, j'étais, tu étais, il était, nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient. If I'm not mistaken, être is the only verb that is really different, okay, at l'imparfait. But even this one still follows AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. Avoir, j'avais, tu avais, il avait, nous avions, vous aviez, ils avaient. Par exemple, j'étais malade, I was sick. Nous avions faim, we were hungry. Okay? Now, just a few cas particuliers, so like some special cases that in my opinion are still important and they are really easy, really fast to explain. First one, pour les verbes qui se terminent en CER, so for the verbs ending in CER, we will add une CD like this on the C and you will really easily understand why. If I take for example le verbe placer, okay, it will make then elle plaquait, par exemple, okay, like this, at l'imparfait. The thing is that the letter C with the A makes the sound que, right? So this one would sound like elle plaquait. So we put the CD on the C, so it sounds now like elle placait. And why we do this? We do this to keep the same sound as in the unconjugated version of the verb, okay? The verb was placer. We don't want it to suddenly sound like plaquer when we conjugate it at l'imparfait. So we add the CD, so it still sounds like placer, okay? Same for lancer. If we didn't put the CD below the C, it would sound like il lanquait, okay? Because there's a A right after the C, right? But we put the CD and so then it sounds like il lançait, all right? C'est bien. And second special case is pour les verbes qui se terminent en G, E, R, okay? If I take par exemple manger, normally at l'imparfait it should make this, but since there's a right after G, it would sound like il manguait. And so it's exactly the same concept because the original verb sounds like manger. We want to keep the j sound all the way for every conjugation. We don't want it to suddenly become manguer when we put it at l'imparfait. So we add a i after the g, so then it sounds like manger. All right? Because you know that a i after a g in French sounds like j. Okay? Same for nager. It would make je naguais, protéger. It would make tu protéguais. Okay? So every time we put a i after the g to keep the sound. Donc je nageais, tu protégeais. Donc he was eating, il mangeait. Je nageais, I was swimming. Tu protégeais, you were protecting. Okay? I think that's it. That's all. All right? So now we can just do one small exercise, really easy, really straightforward. Tu peux mettre en pause la vidéo ici. I encourage you, I really do, to pause the video here. Do the exercise by yourself. You just have to copy on your paper, on your notebook, you know, the following sentences and you conjugate the verb at l'imparfait, okay? Really try to do it yourself before I show the solution. Et si c'est bon, vas-y. Now I will show the solution. Marie lavait son chien tous les jours. Donc Marie was washing her dog every day. Marie lavait son chien tous les jours. Je cuisinais quand j'avais le temps. I was cooking when I had the time. Je cuisinais quand j'avais le temps. Mon frère et moi arrivions toujours à l'heure. My brother and me used to arrive always on time. We were always on time, ok? Mon frère et moi arrivions toujours à l'heure. Mes amis finissaient en premier à chaque fois. My friends were finishing first every time. Mes amis finissaient en premier à chaque fois. Tu grandissais si vite à cette époque. You were growing up so fast at this time, you know, during this time. Tu grandissais si vite à cette époque. Vous pensiez à tout. You were always thinking about everything. Vous pensiez à tout. All right? If you had everything correct, congratulations. Let's do another one, same exercise. Okay? If you didn't have everything right, no issue. This one is a new chance, a new opportunity to practice. Okay? Si c'est bon pour toi, now I will show the solution. Ta femme et toi mangiez ensemble tous les soirs. So your wife and you were eating together every evening. Ta femme et toi mangiez ensemble tous les soirs. Nos parents étaient très beaux à cette époque. Our parents were really handsome at this time. Nos parents étaient très beaux à cette époque. Je réfléchissais pendant que tu chantais. I was thinking while you were singing. Je réfléchissais pendant que tu chantais. Et toi, tu nageais très vite. And you were swimming very fast. Et toi, tu nageais très vite. You know, you cannot hear the I after J, right? Tu nageais. Elle rougissait pour un rien. She was blushing for nothing, for no reason. Elle rougissait pour un rien. When we say it like this, by the way, pour un rien, so literally it means she was blushing for nothing. What it really means is she was blushing for like very easily. This is what it means. She was blushing really easily. Okay? Pour un rien. Nous nourrissions le hamster de Thomas. We were feeding the hamster of Thomas. Nous nourrissions le hamster de Thomas. Ok? Si c'est bon, then that's it. C'est terminé. Oh, I forgot. Usually I write a small sentence next to my face on the left. Or maybe. Ok. Ok, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. Bisous les amis. J'espère que ça peut vous être utile. I hope this was useful for you. If you want to practice more, honestly, you just go to Google. You write l'imparfait exercice, and then you will find approximately 40 billions of different exercises you can do about this. Ok? Bisous à tous. Travaillez bien et à bientôt les potes.